Hey, this is Kicking It with Jason. Today we're talking about protein and how that helps with your weight loss and with your fat loss. So, we know that there's three macronutrients. There's fat, carbs, and protein. Protein is a very, very important one. It's an easy one to get a hold of and be more aware of when you're making your meal plans and you're trying to get really concentrated on what you're eating. There's so many benefits, and I'll give you three right here, and I'll break down each one. But the first one is protein makes you feel fuller without eating a ton of calories. Number two is it makes your body use more energy to absorb and digest the nutrients. And the third one is protein is the only macronutrient that can build and maintain muscle. So if you ever had questions about protein, you've ever had concerns about protein, am I eating too much? How much do I eat? Where do I get protein? We're going to cover all of that. What does protein necessarily do? You probably see it all the time. Protein here or there. Shake this, shake that, protein. But here's the first one. Protein makes you feel fuller, longer. It makes you feel full without eating a ton of calories. And that's big because if you're in a calorie deficit, which you have to be if you want to lose weight and fat loss, you have to be in a calorie deficit. Now, when you go into a calorie deficit, you're quickly going to notice that you're going to be hungry. And that's normal. That's a part of weight loss and fat loss. Your body will be hungry. Not starving, but hungry. And to help with that, right? Because it can feel uncomfortable at first. Your body has to adapt to that. You have to be mentally connected with that. Protein is going to help because as you eat and consume protein, it's going to keep that dialed in. Whereas with fats and carbs, you have to eat a lot of it, which equals a lot of calories in order to feel full. And that's like going backwards from trying to be in a calorie deficit, right? You're hurting the fat loss and weight loss process. But protein, if you're consuming more in a sustainable amount of time, you will have a better success rate with your fat loss. Number two, it makes your body use more energy to absorb and digest the nutrients. So as you consume protein and you digest it, and just from your body doing this thing of processing all the nutrients that's going into your body, it's going to burn fat in that process. It's going to use energy in that process. So just from eating your chicken, your eggs, your pork, your Greek yogurt, when you're consuming that, your body starts to take it in. And as it takes it in, calories are being burned, right? So that's good because if it's being processed and burned as calories and not being stored as fat, you're staying in a calorie deficit. Third one, protein is the only macronutrient that can build and maintain muscle. And this is huge because I train so many people that we focus on strength training. We focus on building muscle. And building muscle is key to fat loss. And for people that just have personal goals to just have a bigger butt, better chest, arms, have a toned look, muscle is all a part of that. And the reason why people are afraid to go into a fat loss sometimes is because they're like, well, am I going to lose my muscle? And the thing is, no, you're not. You're going to maintain, you're going to build muscle while you're losing fat. Now, here's how. So unlike fats and carbs don't build muscle while you're consuming it, but protein will. And as you're building muscle, that muscle means better metabolism. The more muscle you have, the better metabolism that you have. So better metabolism equals calories being burned, whether you're resting or active, right? So if you have muscle, you're putting on muscle, you're strength training, you're lifting weights. This is why I have everybody lift weights. Even while you're resting and you're sleeping, your body will continue to burn fat. And if you're consuming your protein, the protein is going to build that muscle. It's going to help recover that muscle. Our muscles are made of protein and water. So it's all working together to help you burn more fat. So significantly in the long run, if you're consuming protein, you're following this easy fix right here, or I should say simple fix, you can have a better fat loss, weight loss journey. So what are some good sources of protein? You have chicken, you have turkey, you have beef, you have fish, you have eggs, you have pork, You have protein powder, you have Greek yogurt, you have cottage cheese. All right, there's different sources of protein. And how much should you consume? Here's what I have everybody consume. If they want to lose weight, if they want to lose fat, 1 gram of protein per pound of the desired weight goal. So if your goal is to be 150 pounds or 140 pounds or 130 pounds, take that number and wait for this crazy math equation right here. I'm terrible at math, so I'm glad this one's easy. You multiply it by 1. So if your goal weight is to be 140 pounds, you're going to multiply that by 1 gram of protein. So you should be consuming 100 and... So again, if your goal weight is to be 130 pounds, you should be consuming 130 grams of protein a day. Is that more than your body needs? Sure. It's better to set the bar high and fall short than set the bar low and miss lower than that. Because people simply aren't consuming enough protein in their diets. They're just not getting it in. And if you fall short, your progress would not be ruined. So let's say, hey, you want to reach 130 pounds. 130 pounds of protein is what you want to get in every single day. And if you miss short, let's say you get like 115, that's excellent. Because you're probably not getting enough in already as it is, okay? And the third thing is you're just becoming more aware of protein so you can better plan your meals. You can better have a clear understanding of how much you should be eating. And now this is going to make your weight loss journey and your fat loss journey that much easier. If you have any questions, you got something out of this protein podcast, let me know. If you got anything out of this podcast episode, it's not a protein podcast, I should say. But if you got anything out of this episode, please let me know and apply it and tell me how it's been working for you. Thanks.